Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's Danny Limelight. And I need all of you to subscribe to According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and all other platforms.
What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of literally talking about a shit pay-per-view, but with a wonderful person. She is Fierce Females, BigFemVader, Ayesha Raymond, and Wrestlemania Backlash happened on Sunday as we were watching this, the past Sunday, and it was almost like we almost got backlash. Like the WWE backlash us for saying anything good about WrestleMania. I think that's what the theme of this pay-per-view was. It was like, you like WrestleMania? Hold my beer. Or whatever the hell Linda McMahon is doing after she had failed Senate bids, in her home state. But I digress. Oh, fuck, man. It was WrestleMania Backlash.
Zombies. There were zombies. No, this is where I probably get people hating me for life, and I'm sorry, but why?
Yeah.
The women's match was amazing, but why?
Yeah, no, both of them, but they also meant all shit because it was literally copy and paste what they were doing with the men's deal, right? You had a singles supposed alleged world title or universe, right? Because the WWE and the universe, like, they've separated it. So when they refer to us as WWE Universe, is it like on the third person, like The Rock? Like, oh, The Rock says... Maybe I thought way too much of it, but I didn't... Maybe,
it's a different world. It's a different universe.
Like Kadeem Hardison, like Lenny Kravitz's ex is like a different world?
Yes, just like that.
Okay, then where we come from. Yeah, but I guess on the pre-show... we actually got a non-title match. U.S. champion Sheamus, and he faced Ricochet, and it was almost like they were like, "Oh, Riddle, we actually want to do something with him, so we can't play that deal about him getting his teeth knocked in by Sheamus at Mania Night 2. Oh, Ricochet, yeah, come here, pal."
It was the strong man and the bouncy guy. You had the match. Like, why did you have to put it that way? That wasn't even in my head until you said it. Cheers. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries. That's what I'm here for.
Okay. To me, this is a very good. Like, I always love watching Sheamus wrestle because he embodies the big, strong, archetypal beast behemoth that he's supposed to be. And the way that Ricochet wrestles is a nice kind of. It's a good combination for Sheamus's actual move, but best of 5. So for me, it was just literally the big man, the strong man, and the bouncy rubber band, and I loved it. And I like the fact that Sheamus did win, because if Ricochet won, I would have been very, very angry. Okay,
I mean, we had Cesaro challenging for one of the world title, WWE. I don't fucking know at this point, and I don't even care at this point. It just looks like a shit hard plate. Like I didn't think championships could get any shittier, right? So we had that, and then we have like the UFC title that looks like a paper plate in gold. You just fucking put it in gold, and it's just like some weird shit that summoned Power Rangers back in the day. I don't know, but like, where it pisses me off is because like here people are putting their lives on the line, right? They want to win and like to get that piece of shit hardware.
It's as long as it's better than the spinner. It is better than the spinner. You have to admit that.
Boogers are better than shit.
They should have brought back the old school belt. The old school US title was beautiful. They should have just had that one and just left it at that. But
fuck
They've
it.
got to
I
put their
got
own
the
stamp and stuff.
AWA World Championship, held by Nick Bockwinkel, Ari Lawler, Vern Gagne. Bring that some bitch back. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
that's true. That is true. They do have it, don't they? They would have it.
Yeah, they do. Fuck Lawler. Lawler has it. Lawler literally has a version of it, not the inmate, but like the different version of it, and he's had it. I think since '89, where he beat Kerry Von Erich at Super Clash, like 7 or something. Yeah.
You're showing off your belt again. I'm a wrestler that has no belt. Well, I've got my own belt. It's not here.
Yeah.
I'm in London, right? By the way, I'm not in Scotland, so my belt's up with me.
Okay. No. Yeah. I think never forget. Right. So anytime that I get to hold the, I almost said a great Khali like that. No. But anytime I get to showcase that, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So there you go. I'm just saying. That was probably made, speaking of Khali, it was probably made in Pakistan. But I digress. We get into the main card. How's that for a segue? God, the commentary team. I hated it. Like, Cole is going to be cool, right? But what's his name? Pat McAfee. I don't like him on commentary.
I just don't like new voices. I'm in my head. I always replace people. It's JR and King in my head all the time. Even if
Okay.
somebody else is speaking, and then when I watch something else, it might be Michael Cole and Paul Heyman, maybe. But I don't hear. I feel bad. I just don't hear it anymore. I replace.
Yeah.
And you're right. Yeah, I can't hear him on commentary.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
No, it was just for me, Pat McAfee. I just didn't. You know, there's certain voices that just don't agree well with you, and it's. I mean, Cole with like Byron Saxton. I can't stand him either. Honest to
Yeah, but-
goodness.
For me, Byron Saxon, the reason why I can't, it's not that I can't stand him. I can't watch him on screen because he looks just like one of my old tag partners, exactly like it. Even though Dwayne like regrets it to this day that I say that, and he says, "No, I don't look like him." I just see my friends. I'm like, and his teeth are so white. I know mine are, but his teeth are so
Not
white.
mine. Mine look like the inside of a flashlight. Good God. I should really change that, but you know,
Maybe.
I'm at home. I'm at home.
But the match, so the match in general, for me, I like seeing multi-women matches because Joshi, Japan, whatever. And again, having Asuka in there probably helped a lot. No matter how many times I see her wrestle, she always gets better. And then from meeting her at the Classic, seeing Rhea Ripley in this kind of stage is just great to see. Like, she is the embodiment of the powerhouse now, the like kind of new age powerhouse. She's not the big robotic dumpy. She is actually quite athletic and really strong. So just to see her in the ring is just amazing all the time. And I like the Riptide. I really do.
No, that's a great finish. No, and I mean, and that's the thing, right? I didn't actually see too much about her. I didn't see the appeal, you know, because she didn't have the WWE shine to her. Damian Priest is the same thing as Punishment Martinez, you know, in Ring of Honor. Really didn't see anything of note in him, but like I totally buy the Priest character, and it's the same thing. Now that they've given her like kind of like the WWE treatment, like I totally get it. And you know, I love that this happened here, right? And I'm kind of conflicted because basically we got a copy and paste of what was happening in the men's two men's, singular main championships, right? And one was defended one-on-one, and one was defended in a triple
multi.
threat. Right, absolutely. I mean, it was a triple threat. It was the exact same thing. They copied and pasted it to the women's division, and I was like, couldn't have been better if it's just one singular women's title. But then look at all of the talent and WWE doing WWE type things in the most WWE type scenarios. Well, guess what? I mean, it would be probably these three, right? Asuka, Bianca. Well, actually, yeah, Asuka, Bianca, and Charlotte. Actually, that's who I would think, and everybody else would just kind of be cannon fodder. So I like that they getting the attention, and this was an amazing, amazing match. But once Asuka got announced, now in terms of like the build up and the reasoning why Asuka's in the match, I totally got it. You know, she beat Flair, and you know, it's going to be this ongoing storyline where it's almost harkening back to Christian in his feud with Edge back in the day, where he was just like he became the CLB, the creepy little bastard, where he just lost the match and he would whine. That's
and
what,
complain and
yeah, yeah. That's what they're going with Charlotte, which I guess But I mean, all three of them are amazing performers. Asuka, even in her entrance, man, she was looking like she was like ready to rip. Like she was so comfortable, like, and you knew she was about to kill some motherfuckers, and and then even like the dexterity of Charlotte's moonsault. Like I finally caught it, where she's got a gymnast background, right? So when she does that, the moonsault from the top out to the floor, right? I notice that all she does is like she goes to standing for like a split second, and then goes and does a almost like a flat back bump, like, and I never noticed that before. But again, also, you know, she's greater than Rick. I thought it was hyperbole when Rick was saying that, when she was in FCW pre NXT. But no, that's she's great. But
no,
her as the 14 champ already. What the hell?
I know it's basically new age WE treatment where they just throw loads of belts at you. But no, she is greater than Rick. I mean, I myself was never a massive Ric Flair fan. I mean, I understand the greatness, I understand the legendary. Like I've just never. But then I'm a fan of Shawn Michaels. I'm a fan of Chris Jericho. I'm a fan of all these people who kind of modeled their careers after that person. But I always liked the evolution of what they were watching. And to me, my honest opinion is Charlotte is athletic. I'm not saying that Flair wasn't athletic, but back then there was no point to show athleticism. It was all about the toughness. It was him being the champion. It was all about the flair. It wasn't about his wrestling ability, but Charlotte is actually able to show her wrestling ability. And to me, that convinces me that she's just far more better than her father, which is a good thing. That's what you want. Like for my children, I would want my children to be like light rockets years ahead of me. They probably will, but that's what you want, and that's what she is.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, but Rhea retains, which I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move, as they could do a continuation of the story of Rhea and Charlotte and what have you. I think it's a good move. I just hate that Asuka is placed in this role of taking the pin, but it's
Protect.
WWE. Yeah.
One thing I did notice about after watching the entire pay-per-view is, how we always complain about they don't make stars into the new generation. In my opinion, they are trying, but for some reason only with the women. It's like they're building the next stars for the next generation and bringing in everybody and bringing in your NXT stars and showcasing the new talent and building people up the right way. But they're only doing it with the women. Like I feel sorry for you guys and your penises.
Yeah, I don't. With centuries of sexism and misogyny and whatever, get that win back. I'm all for it.
True.
It's just the
Thank
power.
you.
Yeah, no worries.
We'll take that win.
Yeah, and rightfully deserved. It's not a gimme. It's like you guys kick ass, so fuck yeah, man. Take
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, take that shit. And speaking of taking the shit, apparently. I don't even know how to explain this one, but we had on the pre-show the Dirty Dogs of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the reigning tag team nickel championship holders, because that's not a fucking. It's a nickel. It's a fucking
I just
nickel.
got what you meant. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's a nickel, and the other one is a penny. It's like they're wrestling over 10 cents. Good God. Shit me. But we had the Dirty Dogs, who are the champions, basically attack Dominic Mysterio. This is weird, just because Dominic Mysterio, look at all of the three names, right? Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, right? All three men being world champions, right? In one organization or another, or one iteration or another. and you attack Dominic? The fuck? Like you attack
The
Ray?
weak link. He's the
Yeah.
weak.
So like to make him weaker? Like
Oh
it
yeah,
just
good point.
it did
And make
makes,
Daddy more angry. Is that logic to you?
but then he didn't even come out angry. Like Ray didn't even. He just kind of strode out like almost timidly, to the ring. If they would have whooped my son, it would have either been like, "Ha! What did he do?" Or like, "The fuck! Only I get to do that," and beat the shit out of him. So the storytelling for me is off, but then also just Dominic Mysterio being here is off to me because I get it because they did the same thing with Dusty Rhodes and a young Dustin pre Goldust, the $1 million man beating the shit out of Dustin and what have you. Like we've seen this before, and we eventually know that Dominic is going to turn heel on Ray. It's there, but for him to be as green as he is, right, to get this spot to be, and then you could be green. There have been a litany of people that have been green to the business and the work rate, but then they might be a body guy or girl, like Nicole Bass, Brockus, Tom McGee, the Great Khali, or whatever, right? Those have happened before, but the fact that he's not a body guy, he doesn't know how to work, and theoretically speaking, this is the reasoning that we were told, at least by the dirt sheets, that Rey Mysterio coming back was him, the reason why he fucking lost his eye and got thrown off the Titan Towers is so Dominic can get a shot. And Dominic is making like the worst of it.
It's the storyline that they've put in. I mean, you even said the setup for it. They should have destroyed Ray because then that leaves Dominic all by himself. And they could have literally gone schoolyard, prison, dog, like for hell on him for his father to come out and make the save. That's what should have happened. But yeah, I completely understand what you mean.
Yeah.
But even though he's done all of this just so his son can get a shot, maybe in their heads he's got time to work. I mean, how old is he again?
Who, Dominic?
Yeah.
24. Cornette says he was thought he was 13 or
Wow.
19 or something. He's 24. And we're talking about, look, Rhea Ripley. Isn't she about 24?
No, yeah, good point.
Pete Dunne? Tyler Bate?
Good point.
And you're the son. Your dad started out at 16.
Your grandfather started out at probably like 12.
Or uncle. But yeah.
Uncle, yeah.
Yeah. But so I just, they win the Mysterios win the tag titles and what have you. It's just here, It wasn't like anybody is going to look at, the Dirty Dogs almost like, in the kind of auspice of, I don't know, a Hollywood Blondes with Stone Cold Steve Dupree, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Flying Brian Pillman. It's not like they're, a put together hodgepodge team that ended up becoming something great. They're just here. They're just here, right? So it wasn't like it was, it didn't have. If they had beaten, or this is assuming they had like a Demolition S tag team or Heart Foundation, Rockers. Look at all of the great tag teams, hell, even the New Day, but obviously it would be a face and a face matchup, and that's not going to happen. But like, yeah, it was just here. It was just here.
It was a moment for them to do the first. I mean, because it was advertised as the first. Actually, it's not the first time a father and son have held the titles. Is it? It's not. Because that's what it was billed and advertised as. Like, that was what tweet said.
Yeah, well, so theoretically,
in this universe.
Yeah, in this universe, right? Just like Hogan was the first one to slam Andre. Even though you had people like Kamala, damn, Harley Race was on the WrestleMania 3 card, and he had slammed, like, Hogan was jerking curtains. There we go. That was weird to say. Jerking curtains. Yeah, there we go. When, like, Harley did it, and, yeah, it's just a weird place. I would love, right, talk about a long-term storyline, right? I would like when Dominic eventually turns heel on his father, you're like, you aren't my damn father any damn way. Eddie was, and like I'm Dominic Guerrero, not Dominic Mysterio, and
Oh, burn! You know why? I want them. I want them to do it the other way, but it will lose them too much money. Like those mask sales are way like that means way too much to them. But I really want Ray to turn on Dominic. That to me, like he would in like what better fight would it be if him being there? He's basically by himself. If the only person he has to turn to turns against him, he's alone. You'd literally have to see him fight and fight from nothing to something great. But they won't do it because masks are worth too much money. So.
yeah, I agree. I might have a few of them on my own. Just saying. Bait and switch. There we go. But speaking of money, I'm gonna kind of emp this matchup because obviously we had Damian Priest and The Miz. We had a tweet by one former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Dave Bautista, saying, "Hey, I can't be there tonight. I'm sending friends." Right? And we got a pre-tape of John Morrison basically scoping out the locker room of the Lumberjacks in this Lumberjack match. And he comes back and reports to Miz, like, they're zombies.
Movie plug! Movie plug! Movie plug! That's actually all I said the moment. I haven't watched it yet. It's supposed to be a good film.
Oh no, it's not even out yet. I think it's like out next week. But I mean, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I love it. Coach Rob approved. Thank you, Coach Rob. You're the great. Even though we're just shitting on the WWE.
He is. Wait, this side. This side.
I am.
Here.
I am.
This side.
No, I am. What is it like? There we go.
Yeah.
So Dave Bautista said he was going to send his friends, right? And this is somebody that, like, I think we discussed, or somewhere was discussed, that he completely shit on the product, like booking of Asuka, like just days before. He was like tweeting, like, "This is the way you're using Asuka? What the fuck," right? Something to that effect, right? And he sends out a tweet, and I don't know, it could have been a bot, or it might be like one of those promoted tweets.
He
and
got
he was
hacks.
like, "Yeah, I'm sending one of my, like a bunch of my friends and shit like that." And so, Morrison, who plays the dumbest motherfucker ever, apparently. I don't know how you come, like, the money must be really, really good, right? Because, like, to come back and they just play you as absolutely fucking stupid, But he reports back to Miz, like, "I went to the locker room and the Lumberjacks are zombies." And they start running to the ring where zombies come from behind in the tape. And I don't know what the fuck, man.
See, for me, it would have worked so much better. You know the opening sequence to Thriller, where they're like, if they came out like that, I would have popped for it. I would have done the dance. Everything would have been fine. But,
yeah. I mean, in terms of like okay, so Priest comes out first, right? Nothing happens. And then when Miz and Morrison come out, right, and they do their little pose and whatever, and then in the middle of it, like, as they, head to the ring, like, there's just like, they stop dead in the track, and apparently two zombies, from the entranceway, but the cameraman, this is the logic of it. Like, the cameraman is there filming this whole thing, but then these guys are just scared. Yeah, but then the referee's there, but also not there, and Priest is there, but not there, and it was just like this, like 15-second, 30-second, I don't know how long or whatever, but just zombies came, like Miz and Morrison, they run this way, and then there's zombies coming out and whatever. I don't even. And you know what? The one that came, because they scattered. It was funny because, like, the cameraman didn't move, the referee and Damian Priest didn't move, right, when these zombies started appearing. But the three commentators, they got the fuck out of Dodge. Like, they were the only ones that were just like
It's still real
Fuck
to
this.
me, damn
Yeah,
it.
yes. So this happens, right? And then there is actually one zombie that literally sat in the commentary table, and we find out, thank you, internet, that is former WWF Tag Team Champion Scott Taylor, better known as Scotty Tahati, part of Too Cool. That was weird because what happened to the other half of Too Cool?
Distasteful.
Yeah, just saying. No, I mean, I want to think good. I want to be like, obviously they were going down to the performance center, or, I mean, yeah, because they're not there. They're at another arena in Tampa, like a baseball theater or whatever. But they go like, "Hey, we need zombies or whatever." And I'm sure probably Scott Taylor, the real life Scott Taylor, who's a trainer there, goes like, "I like zombies. I like The Walking Dead. Can I do it and whatever too?" And they like whatever. And he's the most prominent one. He gets like a full 5 seconds on screen, just grinning ear to ear. And then after all of this, they're like, we should fight. So Priest and Miz, surrounded by zombies, they were like, we're gonna fucking fight. And yes, it's a wrestling match, and that's what should have happened. But it made the a spot later in the match make absolutely no sense, where they fucking stop fighting each other and start fighting zombies. Well, why didn't you do that shit in the beginning?
Realistically, they should have fought off the zombies first and then had the match. Get rid of the thing that makes no sense and then do what you're supposed to be doing for. But hey ho, I digress. It just it was when I opened my phone when the match was happening and just saw zombies. Every tweet was just zombies. Zombie. It wasn't that anyone was happy. It was just the words zombie.
Yes. Oh my god. And drawing back to Dave Bautista's tweet, he's just like, because somebody tweeted him and was like, "Yo, Dave, what was that shit?" And he goes, "I didn't fucking book that shit." But he said he was going to send his friends.
Who did you send there? Are they still underneath the ring? Maybe someone should go back and check. There's
Yeah.
underneath there right now that was actually supposed to help.
Yeah. But also in the movie, right? They killed the fucking territory. Because in the movie, doesn't Dave fight the zombies?
He's the lead.
He's the lead that fights the zombies, but he was able to evict his friends to fucking come and see the atrocity that we fucking saw, and then
maybe he's just giving away. Maybe he's just giving away the end of the movie for us. He actually becomes friends with the zombies at the end of the film. They're mates. They're pals. They drink tea. They go to the gym. Like everything's sound after the film. He's spoilers. That's it. Backlash was a spoiler to the movie. I'm calling it now. Give my money.
Yeah. Nate Wren says the WWE needs to have Ric Flair to be the president. That just makes me miss WCW. I miss WCW, but not for fucking Ric Flair. Fuck Ric Flair, man. Again, the best person to have that kind of, even though he was never a nature boy, but Nick Bockwinkel, AWA fucking champion, right? He did the fucking gimmick way better than Flair might be even Betty Rogers. So I'm just saying. So if you want zombies, Nick Bockwinkel's grave is somewhere in Vegas. Dig him up, bring him here, make him the president, which he was at one point right before or after J.J. Dillon was the commissioner of the WCW. So I say you get the fucking bones of Nick Bockwinkel, put them here, and it would be way fucking better than whatever the fuck this was.
The bones. Only the bones.
Only the bones.
He had such great hair.
He had such great hair. I don't know how much of that would have withstood. I don't even know the method of burial, cremated or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, bring back David Flair. I never thought I would hear that. I was totally into fucking David Flair up until I saw Little Nate's Charles Robinson. I was like, oh, he does it better.
I I remember the first time I saw that because I wasn't that into. And I saw her on YouTube for the first time. I was like, wow. It was about 10 years ago, but it was like, wow, that actually was a thing. It happened.
Yeah. Oh, my old profile picture, like, before I even did any of this shit, still a fan. In Bakersfield, California, the arena is right next to the Marriott. Like, literally, they share a parking lot or whatever. So if you knew what time that, checkout time was at, the day of TV tapings, well, you saw your favorite people and wrestlers and shit and whatever. I had, for the longest time on my Facebook fucking profile, Little Nate's Charles Robinson holding up my hand because I tried to put the fucking world title replica on him, and he goes, no, 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 and he fucking puts it on me, and then goes like that, and I was like, oh, fucking 4 years. Like, my son was born, and I still kept my that as my fucking profile picture, which says a lot about me.
It really does. It really does.
That's why I'm so angry at this shit, man.
I gave up everything for you, wrestling.
Yeah, fuck, man. I'm gonna have to put more time into my son and everything. Oh, and do something special. I even named him a wrestler, damn it.
Do something special.
I'm too far gone to go back now.
Therapy.
I'm a nut. But speaking of things that weren't... Nate Wren says he has a question for BigFemVader. So
ask away.
Yeah, let's get into it. I should give him time to actually type his question, right? So we're gonna go the Jeopardy. Do 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 do. Do 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 boom boom.
You ran out of time.
Yeah, fuck. All right. Once you get it here, she'll answer it. But we had Bianca Belair defeating Bayley. This one, absolutely, I love. 16 minutes and 2 seconds was this match. Two of the brightest. I mean, this whole women's. I'd say bar none, right? The WWE has, whether you call it WWE main roster, NXT, NXT UK, they've got the best women's roster, aside from Fierce Females, in the world, right?
Yes, they do. I like you did that. It's like I'll punch you through the phone, dude.
I'd say Fierce Females, WWE.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
You'll see soon. But no, yeah, I mean, my major pop of the whole match was the into the corner, vault over, the backflip that she did, sprung onto the top rope, and then flipped over Bayley. But it was the timing. Not once did Bianca actually look back. And I was like, that was beautiful. And I think that was the end. I think that was the finish, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like the fluidity of how both of these women move. Like I was watching Bayley when she was Shark Girl, so I was watching Bayley from Shimmer. I was watching Bianca Belair from when she was in NXT, and just the fluidity of both of these women. Just it's inspiring. So thank you both.
Yeah. Oh, and it was funny because they had some sort of or I think it was the Women's Royal Rumble, right? Back in 2020, right? And you had Naomi and Bianca in at around the same time, right? Mm-hmm. And it's funny because Naomi, for a particular era, was Bianca Belair, the athletic, didn't have the work rate, down pat or whatever, but she had the athleticism, and that carried her. Hell, one would even argue to this day, Mm-hmm. So, the next evolution is Bianca.
It's just, although I do agree with the internet world, that hair is an illegal weapon. If we were booked in a match, I would be Brutus the Barber beefcake in that hair, just before, nope, sorry, ref. Okay, now we can start. I'm not wrestling you with that.
Well, considering, the WWE booking of this night, you probably would have enlisted the help of zombie lumberjacks. To whatever, because that was the reason why we had a lumberjack fucking thing. Yes, it was fucking punny as fuck that we had the zombie movie whatever tie-in, but theoretically speaking, in a wrestling sense, it was to prevent John Morrison from inserting himself into the match, right? Yeah. And it's not like this is like a fucking title match or whatever. It was but like just in that kind of ethos, you would have needed fucking zombie lumberjack to fucking take care of Bianca's hair.
That will have to be done. They could hold her back, and I would get the shears if I had to get
yeah. Actually, so we have the question from Nate. And Nate says, is it a complete scam that English people like tea because I can't stand tea? I spit it out like Tajiri from the WWE does his miss every time that I've attempted to drink tea. So do people in England really enjoy tea, or is it a prank? I want to hear your take, because I've got one as mine. Because my mom's from a British Commonwealth, but go ahead.
People in England, they love tea. I personally am not a really big. I used to drink tea a lot when I was little, and I just think I've gone off of it. My family are background Jamaican, and my mum has a cup of tea every morning. My nan has a cup of tea every night. It's a very big thing. If you don't give a cup of tea to an English person, sometimes they might fight you. I know Pollyanna is one of the people who will fight you if you don't give her tea.
Wow. Tea monsters.
Pretty much. They grow horns and everything. Their face becomes all porcelain and shiny. That's what happens.
It becomes a fucking Baphomet, man. Shit. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I just had a cup right before we started the second podcast. Like, so.
Is there milk in your tea, though?
It all depends. If I'm doing, like, Earl Grey, fuck yeah, it is. If not, then, like, my wife got this, like, white peach fucking tea, and then put some milk. It's because she's been like experimenting with like the shit they have in like boba shops and whatever, and it was really fucking good. Like I wouldn't think of putting you don't think of like peach and cream. Actually, fuck, never mind. I was like, in my head,
every show you have one of these moments. Why?
It's an epiphany. We're fucking sorting out shit. Fuck therapy. We're freaking figuring it out with BigFemVader. It's way better. Way better. And I get to do it in front of all you. So, there you go.
And it's much cheaper than a therapist. And I provide laughs. Fun times.
10 points. I don't know. Your booking fee is pretty high, so I don't know. I'm just saying. Pretty damn high. So, yeah.
We got lost. So, Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. That's what we got next. No, you don't want to? You don't want to touch that one?
Oh, and it's here. I'm glad that it got 2 minutes less than the fucking Bianca Bailey match, and also, a minute less than the fucking Rhea Ripley Asuka Charlotte Flair match. Because I like that Bobby Lashley is who you have winning here. But I could really give a shit about any of these motherfuckers. Honestly. Bobby Lashley and his sisters. Like, I didn't see it in TNA. Like, I never got Bobby Lashley. I just didn't.
I just always referred to. I felt bad, but he was Black Lesnar to me for ages. And the thing, I loved him. I really did. But because he was Black Lesnar, I was like, I had never seen a black man in that role since Farouk, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to see Bobby Lashley in that like powerhouse main event-y role was awesome. But I lost hope in Braun Strowman when they gave him the child as a tag partner. I can't. I can't.
You're even kinder than me, because didn't he replace... So my deal with Braun Strowman is like, look at this, right? They didn't want Bobby Lashley to be seen on the main roster, even as an extra when he was down in OVW, because once Vince McMahon saw him, right, he would sign him and bring him up and put him on TV, right?
True.
Here's Strowman, who was there for fucking 2 years as a fucking Rosebud. An Adam Rose Rosebud.
I was a Rosebud too. It was a good gig.
Wait. You have a Rosebud story? Fuck the rest of the show. Do tell.
Oh, when they came over to do the British stuff. So one night I was a fairy, the second night I was a French maid, and we got to do the interaction between Vicky Guerrero, and this is actually a beautiful story. Vicky Guerrero is an amazing woman. We did a spot where she was on the side of the apron and she was being intimidated by Adam Rose, but we were on the outside. She got intimidated until he kind of faked a punch and she fell back, and we got to catch her and kind of hoist her in like the crowd surfing position, dancing to the entrance. When we did it, like everyone's getting changed, she knocked on everyone's door and said thank you to each and every Rosebud that caught her. She was so happy with everything. She said she had so much fun, and she just said thank you so much for catching me. I'm like, that.
Wow, that is brilliant.
Is a gem and a half. Like that, the woman is a diamond. Like if I could ever meet her again, like COVID aside, hug. I would love to.
Yeah. Oh my God. Holy fuck! I just pulled it up on my. I know.
Yeah, I did the
yes.
thing.
Oh my God.
I did the thing.
This is so great. I love it.
Needed money,
yeah,
man.
there you are. Like with the white and black. Well, you said they had you as a French maid. They actually had you in same outfit, seemingly, for being a Rosebud. They didn't. Or was there a different one?
I can't remember. I think which outfit am I wearing there?
Because it was like a white and black attire, which almost hits me as maid. I don't.
Yeah, maid.
It's kind of fucked up. Because you're the only person of color and you're a maid.
I know, right?
But then again, the rest of them are Rosebuds, and if you could put that in the Google search and have a field day with that one.
I wanted to be the bunny. I would have no problem with being the bunny. I would have loved to be the bunny.
Apparently, Sami Zayn was fucking pissed. So, I mean, maybe you get Zayn's spot. I don't know.
There we go. But yes, we were back to the match. Why didn't the match impress you? Because the moment I said it, you made a face.
I just don't care about any of these three. I really don't. Like Bobby Lashley. Like, I think it's fun for us as fans to go like, oh, him and Lesnar. That was one of the reasons why he came back, is to get Lesnar or whatever. But, like, could it be any better than fucking Lesnar Goldberg at WrestleMania Tony?
Good point.
It's not, and then I love MVP. Like, MVP and yeah, like, it's just, I like it. I like MVP. I don't know if I've always liked MVP.
How could you know?
Because I didn't like those brash, like, he reminded me of every fucker that I had a fight with in high school.
That was the point. He reminded me of every...
Okay, well, I wanted to fucking have a fight with him. I don't want to fucking cheer him.
Well, you were trying to have PTSD. Like every time
you
on screen, you're like,
yeah. See, again, fucking airing my dirty laundry. Oh, God.
It's fine.
What are you, fucking TMZ? God.
Where I might be working for them undercover, recording everything.
As a fucking maid in a Rosebud. So,
yeah.
That notwithstanding.
I know.
Yeah. So I'm glad that they fucking kept the championship on Lashley. Drew, I don't know, man. And I know a lot of people that know him. He's a phenomenal guy. I'm not saying that is not at all true. Like, I'm my feelings to Drew versus like Roman Reigns, like I absolutely I turn off the fucking TV when Roman Reigns happens. Like, wow. I just, yeah. So I'm glad that they kept the title on Lashley, but I just
no. You just don't care.
I fucking don't care. I got nothing. I just like I don't see Strowman as a fucking like one. He was a fucking black sheep, white, whatever. But didn't he replace the great Brody Lee, then Luke Harper in that fucking deal, right? Like, so he was already. He's got Get These Hands. Has not one fucking move in his arsenal that actually requires his hands. Get These Hands. Running power slam.
I know. I just literally, for me, it was you're billing him as a monster, and I think they babyfied him too fast. That's why I stopped caring. I
Choo
mean,
choo.
yeah, uh, I mean, I know I can be all cuddly sometimes, but there's still slight an intimidation factor. There are still a lot of people that are scared of me, but like I just see him and I just want to give him a rose. Like, here's a pink rose. Have this.
Man,
There's no.
your next 8x10s better be you in the rosebud kind of garb because you made another latent fucking Adam Rose reference. 10 points there.
Thank you, thank you. I'll see if I can find the clip for you, all of them.
No, I've got it. I've got it.
You've
It's
got it,
playing
okay.
on another tab. I just don't want to get pulled off of YouTube.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have fucking split screened that shit. But yeah, yeah. So Lashley wins. Woo! Yay!
Okay, so now the main event. How do you do that? It's just like.
Yeah, the main event might as well have been made for the main event. I'm talking the WWE fucking.
Sunday
Apparently,
Night
it's
Live.
no. It's not even that. Is the isn't the main event is like that show that they wanted to do as like the syndicated show, and they even had like the Undertaker on the first episode and whatever. And I think it's still fucking playing, or it might have been no. They stopped the main event to have 205 Live.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, but this match was made for that main event. This is this, and I love. I'm a wrestling, technical wrestling aficionado, MMA guy, whatever. And they try to do this style. They try to do that fucking style. Roman Reigns is not the guy to fucking do this style, and I don't even think that for everything that is great about Claudio Castagnoli, the now Cesaro, right? He's so great. He's a great wrestler. He's not a great. He's a great strongman. He's pound for pound the
Good
strongest
character.
person. Right.
Nothing to do with where he's from. I'm sorry.
No.
No.
Actually, I loved, him pre WWE when he was doing this like simply European, those vignettes that he did on his own. The simply European, those are fun. That was like one of the fucking reasons why I didn't want him to go to the WWE, and then the WWE proved me right. And this is like, he's on the roster for like damn near 10 years, and you fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just and I know they tried hard, right? And for everything that I don't like speaking of tea, Roman Reigns is just not my cup of tea. He's not what I want as a wrestler. But then again, like I said, Lashley, Strowman, and Drew aren't that either for me, right? So like, just in North, and then you go on the other side of the docket, Kenny Omega. It's not my guy. So and he has like two.
Really?
Yeah.
No, not even no.
The most special thing about Omega, so Omega and the Bucks, right? Omega and the Bucks, they're literally they're heads of the company, right? Of AEW. That is whatever. They can't even fucking book themselves. Those three have never felt less special than they do in the promotion that they sit on the fucking board. The head at the table.
Because my take on it, I just generally thought that they were doing more like I would have done. Like you lower yourself because you're in such a big position. That's what my mentality was.
Oh yeah, that's why we got the fucking non-exploding deathmatch. So we got yeah. No,
I think they just been to Japan and they were like, I want to do that.
Well, here's the deal, right? So with Omega, right? For everything that you are a fucking office person or whatever, like an executive in the company, right? You can't even get somebody to fucking film the V-trigger, right? That move has never felt less special than it does right now. But I see that in the WWE, and not the WWE, in fucking MMA. It fucking kills motherfuckers. Like that fucking switch knee, it fucking kills motherfuckers. But Omega doing it in Japan, and they fucking zoomed on it, the way that they shot it was just so crisp, so superb. But You do that for the fucking best friends mock of Okada's Rainmaker? The fuck are we doing?
But it's Japan. Japan makes everything look awesome.
Right, but then they use that same fucking camera angle for the best friends rather than your fucking world champion, who's also an executive in your company.
I just think everyone should just take the model from Japan and just do it that way. Like we've all been. Like, why don't we just stop? No one copy WE anymore. It's done now. We've seen the American stuff over and over again. Let's just start ripping off all the Japanese stuff. They'll appreciate it.
You know what we're getting? AEW Dynamite in like 2 weeks.
Yes.
We can't do zombies, but we're gonna get something even stupider.
What?
I don't know.
Oh,
Leave it to AEW.
I thought you were gonna
Leave it to AEW. It'll be like fucking samurais or I don't know, like fucking demons or Abaddons, like fucking mini. Nah, that's what they're fucking gonna do.
Mini Abaddons.
Yeah, mini Abaddons and fucking do see. Oh god,
His brain is freezing. You can't handle.
it's a
wrestling.
fucking I've malfunctioned. It's but
Backlash has made you malfunction.
I think yeah.
For me, I could never. I don't know if it's because of the era that I grew up in, the wrestling that I grew up with. I just have never been able to buy Roman Reigns as a main event person, and that's not me. I'm not shitting on anyone. I think it's the way he was kind of shoved down everybody's throat. Instead of focusing on him, I feel like they focused on his history and his cousin more and his backstory of life. We never actually got who Roman Reigns is unless they want to show his children and his wife. That's it. You don't really know who he is, and we're always supposed to buy him as this main event star.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, because even Cena rapped, right? You're going back to like the archetype of a generation before. Cena rapped, right? He at least had that, and that was why when he ended up, doing the heel turn with what was it, Rock? Yeah, I think it was Rock. Like that's why everybody was so fucking excited. Like, are we gonna see the Cena again? Or the inclinations of him in the Firefly Funhouse or whatever. Like, but yeah, Roman Reigns just doesn't like. I don't know who that guy is. Like, I don't know who he was. But then again, I don't care. He had the shittiest theme music, and it's funny because like George Hermosa of the Wrestling Chatter, we did a Backlash preview show, and he was just like, "Oh well, Woods, love you, but like you're saying you hated the fucking bulletproof vests that he sold punches on. Well, he doesn't have it. You hated the music, and you still don't like Roman Reigns." And I was like, "Yeah, because he's the tribal chief. He still wears that stupid ass fucking SWAT fucking pants and." Boots and whatever, right? And then Roman Reigns is not a fucking Polynesian nickname, God. Like, yeah, it's just, there's a miss. And then the fucking hologram of the cum face.
Oh.
And you change, I mean, you change the theme, you change whatever. It's lipstick on a pig at this point, Like, I just, and he has, I'm not saying he hasn't done the best work, right? This is the best work that he's ever done in his career. Remember the speeding is a sucker and succotash fucking promo, right? He's eons
Who
away
wrote
from here.
that?
Vince, this is Vince. This is Vince.
I had to Google it because I'm like, I know I've heard that somewhere before. I'm like, oh gosh, that's Daffy Duck. Mm-hmm. Why are they quoting Daffy Duck?
Because that was cool when Vince was 20.
It wasn't even cool when I was 20.
Right, but for a 70-year-old, he's just like, that's some good shit, pal. That's it, man. So, yeah, it's so here's the weird landscape. You have WWE with 2 world titles for both men and women, right? You've got Impact Wrestling, which is 2 titles. That's merged with like the AEW whatever and whatever
NWA,
right? And then you've got Omega has Triple A Impact Wrestling, which is actually 2 belts, even though they don't even have fucking like a good presentation of no crowd in the audience, right? Like Ring of Honor actually does it a little bit better. It makes the setup right with no fans, right? Because not everybody can do the Thunderdome and whatever. But so Omega has got AAA, AEW, Impact Wrestling. So, but it's all 4 titles, right? And he's never felt less special. And then you've got Ospreay, when he finally gets the fucking belt, one of the greatest workers that there is. They change the belt and it looks like shit.
Money, COVID, a punishment, maybe.
Yeah, what, like a punish? Okay, explain that one to me. Like they punished him and gave him the title.
No, I don't know. I just like it's because you sped Osprey, and I was just like, a punishment, maybe.
I get the reasoning why they, now that they've got the U.S. title, they don't need the Intercontinental title, so you merge the two and then give it a new belt. But I just don't like the design. It looks like that shit version of the ROH World title that like Rollins had. I didn't like it. It was silver and it had like a fucking canary. It was weird.
The design of belts now, I think they should just go back to all the old school belts. Like even the WE belt should just be the Winged Eagle. Give them back the Winged Eagle. Please.
That is my belt. So you're speaking to the choir. So I'm just saying. But yeah, so WrestleMania Backlash, it made us. The WWE backlash us for liking any part of WrestleMania.
I think it was their cool. You know how they always say there's a cool down period after Mania? This is it. This is the chill period. This is the chill.
As great as the Bianca Sasha match was, I don't think your favorite WrestleMania, right? My favorite WrestleMania. I don't think there's going to be anybody 20 years removed going, this is my favorite Mania.
True.
They're going to remember the match, much like they remember Savage Steamboat or Hogan Andre. They're going to remember, Sasha and Bianca, which I'm glad. But pillar to post, is it going to be anybody's great and it's almost like cannibalistic. Not to bring up the zombies again, but it's cannibalistic because you got 2 nights of it. So as great as night 1 was, by night 2 and Monday's Raw, you kind of forget what the fucking happened on night 1. So I don't know.
I think that literally COVID and everything that's happened, like any WrestleMania during this time, as much it may be special in different ways, these are going to be manias that unfortunately many people aren't going to be remembering, because one of the things about Mania that people enjoy most is the atmosphere in the crowd. And unfortunately, as skilled as a wrestling match may be, or as many segments that you can put in, how many zombies you can throw full, the atmosphere is gone. It's not Mania. That's not wrestling. That's not shows. It's weird. I just want all of this to end.
Yeah. You said this ain't wrestling. No, it wasn't. This whole thing. I think... I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it. I just don't. And they say, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it.
There you go. He's got nothing to say.
Got nothing. It was so. But I'm glad that I get to do this with my friend, Ayesha Raymond. And for those who want to be like friends and take in all the things that are great at, where can they find that? Oh, Alex Ramirez says Bad Bunny was at WrestleMania.
Who's Bad Bunny?
He's a fucking rapper person.
Is he now? Oh. What does it look like? I don't know what it is. What's a Bad Bunny?
Roman Reigns with like Chris Tucker hair from Fifth Element.
It makes money? I don't know what a Bad Bunny is. I'm sorry, dude. Wow.
Nope, that's it. That's it. Yeah, he's the one who tagged with Priest to face Miz and Morrison.
When Limp Bizkit was on WrestleMania, everybody remembered. When Saliva was there, everyone remembered. When
Fred Durst never fucking wrestled a match though. Thank God.
That actually, yeah. Unless you get SmackDown the game and unlock him. He wrestled many matches on my TV.
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know. Yeah, WWE's been serving up shit for decades. This is just one iteration, and this is one I just can't. I don't know. But again, to find out more about you and what you're doing, where can they find you on social media?
All the plugs. So you got BigFemVader right there. If you type in that to any social media platform, you get this beautiful face. Not only that, Fierce Females Glasgow and Fierce Females Wrestling. And I also do co-host another podcast. It's called That Efkin Show on Twitter. Check it out.
Hell yes. And I'm According Woods, and you can find me on that display name, discreet name, whatever name, that thing, everywhere. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you're subscribed. But if you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, where I'm not so ornery about things.
He does smile sometimes.
I do smile sometimes. The WrestleMania Backlash wasn't it. But yeah. But as for us, we're going to talk about something happier probably next week and what have you. So, but you guys be awesome. Be cool. Subscribe to all of our shit. And if you've got shit, we'll subscribe to it too. So how about that? But if you don't believe me or BigFemVader, go ahead and listen to Zeta Zang.
Hey, this is Zeta Zang.